Yo, what's good everybody? It's ChrisXtophers, and in today's video, assuming you know how to read a thumbnail and title, we're going to be teaching you how to play Caitlyn in 2XKO today. Now, she did release around 4 days ago and I was going to drop this guide sooner, but Caitlyn is actually a character that I myself am interested in playing, so I've spent the last 4 days doing absolutely nothing but sitting in a Discord call with me and my buddy and labbing Caitlyn combos, finding setups, finding how to play her in neutral. We've been 1v1ing, we've been jumping in ranked, casuals. I've already got her to Grandmaster, and I felt like now was the time to finally share my knowledge and show you how to play Caitlyn. And today I'm going to be going over how to play her in neutral, some of the best combos you should be doing with her, how to convert into your assists, how to create sandwich pressure, and basically anything you need to know for the first week of playing Caitlyn. I should have you covered in today's guide. So without further ado, let's jump right into the lab. Alright, so first things first, we're going to be going over, just a super quick summary of this character's moveset. So the main thing, this character has a giant sniper that she can shoot from full screen. She can charge this sniper. She has a net shot to also help her zone. She can do it in the air, on the floor. She has a trap where if they walk into it, they will get stunned. And this trap also picks up off of the ground. If you time it correctly, unlike me, it will actually pick up off of the floor like that. And other than that, I'm not going to go over her whole entire move list because you can just load her up for yourself and, see every single button. But some of the other important things is that she has a roll that you can use to kind of get out of block strings or to cross your opponent up if you time your assist call, kind of like that. But I wanted to tell you how to play her in neutral because one of the main things I've been struggling with recently is when you're actually in a match and this Ahri is fighting back, it's really hard to sit here and create space with this slow backdash. Like, as you can see, her backdash speed is just tremendously slow compared to a character even like Teemo. Like, Teemo can almost get away faster and float away. Same thing with Jinx, who's another zoner. She can kind of get away, and Teemo can like do this to kind of get out of jail and keep you out, throw a mushroom too or whatever. Whereas to Caitlyn, kind of, you don't really want to charge your sniper and try to get away, or definitely her neutral feels a little bit weird. But for main neutral gameplay, I would recommend using her net shot as much as possible compared to the gun. Now the gun, you can, if you land a hit, go straight into the super. But for the most part, if we want to zone, we're going to be wanting to use net. Net has the least recovery, I think, so it just feels the best to throw out. And you can also mix it up and use this as a movement tool to get in and get a little combo started. So main Caitlyn neutral is actually not from full screen. I know she's a zoner with a giant sniper, but if I see any of y'all Caitlyn players sitting completely full screen doing this after watching my guide, I don't know what to tell you. You deserve to lose. So if we do want to zone, like I said, we're basically going to be using net. Every now and again we're going to be throwing a trap and you can shoot the trap. But for neutral, that's kind of just what we're going to be doing for zoning. Our main goal is to kind of stay at this medium range right here. Caitlyn actually has surprisingly good footsies. From this range, Ahri can't really, you can kind of bait out an attack if I set her to block, just for an example. So like if we're sitting right here, we can roll. After hitting them a few times, we can roll, bait out an attack, and Caitlyn actually has like really long buttons. Like this crouching medium hits from so far away. Her heavy punch, ridiculous button. It doesn't look like it'll hit. Like if you're standing right here, you think you're safe if you're Ahri, but not to Caitlyn. This heavy punch is a sniper. So we don't really want to be sitting full screen with Caitlyn, sniping like this. We're not really using her kit the best way we can, right? We kind of want to stay at this range, play footsies with them. If things are getting scary, we can always back out and then zone and throw our traps, call an assist, all that fun stuff. But we're kind of going to want to play at this range so that we can bait our opponents into whiffing, so that we can get a big punish with our heavy punch and then get a combo started. So just an example of what this pressure should look like with Caitlyn, it should look something like this. Just like that. You can kind of use this roll to bait out certain options from your opponent if they're mashing. All of her Caitlyn's block string enders are kind of unsafe. If you play this character in the lab, you're going to feel great and learn all these combos, but then you're going to get into a real game and realize that all of your combo enders just feel unsafe. Trying to end in gunshot, you're going to get punished. Trying to end in net, you're going to get punished. Trying to end in trap sometimes will work, but this won't work on every single character. You'll just end up getting punished half the time. So what I would recommend is kind of staying in this fussy range and just practice and putting your back roll to end a block string with Caitlyn. And if you want to go back to zoning, you can go back to zoning with the net, call an assist, like I said, whatever. But we kind of do just want to bait out our opponent's options with this roll and kind of get a punish. Kind of like that. And that's basically it for neutral. Moving into the important part of the guide, which is combos, and that's why everybody's here. We're going to be talking about like just some very beginner combos. And then as the video goes on, we're going to go into the more in-depth combos. So first things first, the main thing you should realize with Caitlyn is if you do want to launch your opponent, her combo structure is completely different if you add that crouching medium. So look at the height difference if I just do launcher, and then if I do crouching medium launcher. Do you see the height difference? Certain combos will not work if you do not have that crouching medium. For example, I see a lot of Caitlyn's doing that. It's a very common Caitlyn bread and butter, but you need that crouching medium to get the height for the trap. If you do it without that crouching medium, this will happen, and then you'll look pretty stupid. So just keep that in mind before we start the combos, that if you've already tried labbing this character and you're just a little confused as to why this combo is so inconsistent, it's probably most likely because you're not inputting the crouching medium kick. Or, I mean, it's not a crouching medium kick in this game, but you crouching medium. So just keep that in mind. But mid-screen, basically for a very easy combo, what we're going to want to do, just like I said, then we can just go straight into gunshot into our net. Just like this. Looks like that, pushes them all the way away, and then we can get straight back to zoning. At the end of this, we can also pop our level 1 if we really want to. Like if it's going to kill, probably the only time I would recommend popping it, because it does no damage, but if this is going to kill, it's going to kill. We can also start using our air net, except you input it backwards. So whichever way your back is facing, you input your air net. So right now it's back S2. And we can input that after medium heavy. And that allows us to get not only more corner carry, but we can get this kick afterwards. So one more time, it's going to look like this. Bam, bam, bam. And we can pop a trap on them. Now once that trap hits, the world is yours. You can wait for them to reset and then go for a mix or jump here thinking that they're going to like freak out. Or you can keep the combo started. You can charge a heavy when the trap hits. You can flip kick them into the corner. The world is yours. I would practice just this combo. And then once that trap hits, essentially you can just kind of do as you please. What I've been doing recently is just charging a heavy, throwing another trap, charging another heavy, and then double gunshot. But that might be too hard if you're just picking up the character. I would recommend just popping this trap, putting them in the corner, and just trying something. Everybody has different routes. Whatever's comfortable for you. Whoever's watching this video, I don't know how new you are to fighting games, so I don't really want to give you a route that's going to be way too hard. You can kind of just do something like that if you're new to the game. But if you do want to keep the corner, like I said, you can just go straight into flip kicks here. And to keep it simple, you could just level 1 if you want to. Keep that corner. And it's a very good combo for a beginner. Moving into some other very important combos that you can do just to learn the character. These aren't the most optimal combos, but if you're struggling to find a place to use her mirror super, I recommend in the corner, you can go double gunshot, just like that, medium heavy gunshot, gunshot. And you can pop that mirror super, and you can actually loop this, just like this. You can get a little jump in. You can do it one more time. You cannot do this 3 times. But at the end, you can end it with a charging heavy. Then you can go into trap and do a launcher, or you can put a trap down and get a super. If you want to spend all your meter, you can get flip kicks. You can get flip kicks into gun, into launcher. You can do whatever you want with this. So, I mean, if you're struggling to use mirror super and you just want to use it, I would recommend maybe trying it out like this. You can also go for a limit strike, just like this. Very good level 2 combo in my opinion. I would recommend trying it out. The full thing would look something just like this if you were like giga sweating. Spends 2 meters and limit strikes. Just like that. And you finish it with the trap so that if they wake up, they will stand up into the trap, does 60% and limit strikes, builds you that meter. If you don't know, limit strikes do build break meter and super meter, so very important to kind of, if your combo's not gonna kill, I would recommend always trying to find a way to limit strike them so that you can always get that meter, which is very important in this game. Getting into another really important route that's gonna end in her level 3 super. Just like we talked about earlier, make sure that this crouching medium is always in if you're going to go into flip kicks like this. So just like this, I mean not flip kicks but the side switch kick in the air, the down heavy. I just, sometimes I make up names for certain moves, I'm sorry. I call these flip kicks right here, and then sometimes I call this flip kicks, I don't really know why. Sorry if it's confusing. But make sure you're always just having that crouching medium in the starter, because if you don't, you're going to go to do it. And like I said, you're going to try the trap, and the trap isn't going to work, and you're going to be sitting here like, oh my god, Chris, you lied to me, your guide sucks. It's probably just because you're not doing that crouching medium. So just like this, and then we're going to trap, stands them. We're going to get that charging heavy right there, and instantly down forward hold for a trap. So she can throw her trap at 2 different ranges, just like that. You see how they're going at different ranges? So the first one we want to just be a normal trap. The second one we want to be a far trap. So it would look something like this. Hopefully I get it first try. That'd be like kind of Aura. And I suck. Alright. Flip kick. Charge that heavy just a little bit. Throw that trap farther. Gunshot, gunshot. Fully charged heavy. Level 3. Now, this route might be a little crazy if you are just picking up Caitlyn. I don't really know how advanced my viewers are, but if you do want just a very simple combo, like, hey man, I need to get my level 3 out, blah blah blah, you could always just go for this in the corner, and you can always pop your level 3 after that air bola, the little net shot. People call it bola. I just call it the net shot. You can always do it, so you can do something like this, just super simple. Pop your level 3. But if you do want that more extreme combo, character did just come out. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but she's only been out for 2 days. So if you want the more extreme combo, do the route that I just showed you with the flip kick, charge the heavy, throw another trap, gunshot, gunshot, charge the heavy, and then pop that level 3. One important thing in the corner is Caitlyn's throw can be off the ground with her crouching medium. And this will auto time kind of like a little bit of a throw loop. If you ever played Street Fighter 6, this should haunt your dreams and nightmares. But in this game, throw loops are not too crazy, so don't really worry too hard. But just keep that in mind. I didn't want to really leave this out the guide. You can go for a little shimmy here and get a little mix. But input that crouching medium and you will be so plus in their face when they wake up that you can jump and get a combo started. You can just grab again. You can roll and bait out an option if they get up attack or something, and then you can get a punish. I didn't really want to just leave that out the guide. One more important thing is Caitlyn can combo off of her air throw. If I can get this bot to jump, Caitlyn can combo off of her air throw with her trap. You can restand them and then go for mix afterwards, or you can get a... I suck. I'm pretty sure you can get a heavy there. Might have to dash up. Yeah, you can get a heavy there. You just kind of have to dash up a little bit. And you can go for whatever route you want. We're all going to have different routes at the end of the day, but I would probably just go for something like You know, if I land that heavy, I would probably just go for something straight into launcher, just like that, and then just reset the neutral. If it was gonna kill, I would most likely try to reach with the crouching medium first, and then go into the routes I just showed you, like these routes. And then maybe just go into my level 3, if you don't drop it like me. But one of the other more important things about Caitlyn, just a general summary of the characters, she might feel like a zoner if you pick her up, but I promise you, you should not be playing this character like a zoner. I know I said that at the start of the guide. You shouldn't really ever be wanting to charge these gunshots full screen. Yes, they are good and they do break other projectiles. So if you're getting zoned out by like a Teemo or a Jinx, you can charge these shots and it's not a bad thing to do. But if you're fighting an Ahri or an Ekko, I wouldn't recommend zoning. Caitlyn actually has a 6-frame jab, and it is very strong to kind of pressure your opponent with these staggered buttons and then find a string. And she is very, very strong in that mid to up close range. And she's more of a combo character than a zoner in my opinion. So I wouldn't really recommend sitting full screen just doing this the entire game, because if you're going to do this, why not just play Teemo when Teemo is a better zoner and he builds these mushroom badges and he has a small hitbox to hurtbox ratio, so he's just the better zoner in my opinion. So just keep in mind with Caitlyn, there's nothing wrong with shooting your gun like this full screen. If it's hitting, it's hitting. You know who might have told you to stop. But at the same time, keep in mind that she is really strong up close. Out of the 3 zoners in the game, Caitlyn, Jinx, and Teemo, she is the only one with a 6-frame standing jab. Teemo has a 6-frame crouching jab, but as you can see, this button is not the best for pressure. You know, it's not the best button out there. Compared to Caitlyn, where she has this 6-frame, she also has an overhead that I haven't even talked about yet that she can combo off of. If I can get the opponent to block, so certain pressure like this, and then you can roll, call an assist, bam, bam, go for the overhead. She's very strong up close, and she has a lot of mix with this overhead. She can cancel the startup frames of the overhead into her net shot and then get a normal landing overhead. Like, I would just practice all of this stuff. She's insane. So I would really recommend playing her up close and getting as mixy as possible with this character instead of playing full screen Zoni, because she has so much pressure and super fast standing frame data. So keep in mind that when you're playing her, please do not sit there full screen the entire game and then complain that she sucks or something. I've been hearing that a lot. Open up Twitter and I see, Caitlyn doesn't feel too strong, man. I don't know. I just can't keep anybody out. Well, maybe she's not supposed to keep people out. She has a 6-frame jab. She has an overhead that is ridiculously quick. It's not really that quick when I look at the frame data. I swear it feels quicker than 25 startup frames, but she can also cancel the overhead into just this. She has a great way to get in with this movement ability. So just keep in mind that if you're really feeling like, hey man, I can't zone on this character, I'm just gonna pick up Jinx to zone, keep in mind that maybe she's just not a zoner. At least a full screen zoner, man. So remember that she does have these mix options, and you should be playing her at this mid to close range. Just like that. That's probably what an overhead combo would look like if you're going for one. Then you can limit strike there. You can even get your level 1 right here. So this will always limit strike because you started with the overhead, right? So that ground bounce is right there. So if you go to the corner and you go to do your normal bread and butter, you'll probably go to stomp on them and be like, oh man, I limit strike. The reason it's doing that is because you already started the combo with the overhead. But you can just go for something simple, just like this, and then just bullet shot them. You can super them off the ground right there, or you can super them in the air before anything, like right on the gunshot if you really wanted to. Get the headshot. Another really important thing about Caitlyn is, unless this is removed in the future, she can actually tag after her super just like that. Now, if this does hit, you can actually get a combo off of it with your assist. Depending on who you play, I'm pretty sure every character in the game can kind of get a follow-up off of it, at least with something. So you can do something like call assist, pop your super, tag, and then Teemo gets a little follow-up. Teemo's maybe not the best example of this because Teemo doesn't really have... I'm pretty sure I can get something there, but you know, the character just came out. Pretty sure you can get off the ground here with Teemo or something, and then get a roly-poly if you're fast enough. But just keep in mind that she can do this. This is something she can do, even with freestyle. As you can see, I'm not even rocking double down. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about Caitlyn's assists and what they're really strong for. So Caitlyn's assist, back assist, will actually snipe ridiculously far out of the air. So if I get this Ahri to jump like all Ahris do, and I snipe her, she'll stay in hit stun all the way into the floor. If I time it right, she'll stay in hit stun all the way into the floor, right? So that allows me on Teemo to walk all the way up. Just for an example on Teemo, because I play Teemo, you can get a whole little limit strike combo because you hit a back assist. Caitlyn's forward assist is really the main one you're going to use for like combo extensions. So just an example, something simple. It'll pick up off the ground like that and you can get something. Every character's got a little different route they can do. But really, if you hop in the lab, Caitlyn's assist game is really, really strong. I've been running Caitlyn Warwick with my friend Spur, and some of the things we've been doing on that is insane. Like, I can show you, I don't really know how to play Warwick entirely, but I do know, just an example, that Caitlyn assist can, there it is, can pick up after this. So just an example, and then you get a whole nother pickup into your super or whatever. I don't really know how to play Warwick, but you get the idea. That's mainly what her assist is going to be used for, is kind of to extend combos. And her back assist is really good at catching Ahris who like to jump a lot, or really anybody who likes to jump a lot, because people in this game just really like holding up. And keep in mind that this will keep them in hit stun all the way to the floor, which is insane. So I mean, you have enough time to just run over there and get a whole entire follow-up off of it. So keep in mind that if you do see it hit, you can actually just wait until they hit the floor or get close to you. You don't have to jump up there with them and try to get a little chase game. I suck. You don't have to jump up there with them. I mean, you can, obviously. But just keep in mind that they're in hit stun all the way into the floor. But as of now, Caitlyn did come out 2 days ago, so that is all the information I have. I hope I went over enough on the combos and how you should be trying to mix with this character with the sandwich pressure. And I hope you can use what you've seen in the guide today and kind of at least be good enough to go load up rank and understand what you're doing on the character more than if you didn't watch the guide. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You don't have to, but it's greatly appreciated. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.